All right, you can start.
You can start. Oh, awesome. Thank you, John. Thank you. Thank you. Uh, okay. Hi, guys. So, nianze aje? Hello, guys. Winter here. Today we're gonna go through Hack the Box Ambassador. Okay. Anyway, let me stop joking. Thank you guys for joining the stream. Today, today is uh, today is a good day. I have not rehearsed this box, so if I fumble, please forgive me. Nimedanganywa na watu and I wasted my time doing something that was unsolvable. Unsolvable. You just laugh. You laugh. Okay, so Ambassador was an interesting box with a vulnerability, an application vulnerability. The application is known as Grafana. Yeah. So what you had to do is get some sort of it was a vulnerability that allowed you to read files on that remote server. Simply, it was an LFI. So you use that to read some uh, sensitive files from that server to get some credentials to a MySQL database. And inside that MySQL database, you'll get now other credentials for the SSH. Now, after getting into the box using the SSH credentials, again, you'll leverage, uh, should I call it, it's a feature of Consul or Console. Console is what again? What was Console again? So I think Console is also another app that helps you perform health checks on, I think, services running or services. Uh, yes, check health checks. So, so yeah, the application itself was Console. So you want to leverage the way it performs health check. When it performs health check, it allows you to do like to specify commands that can be run, and it was being run as root, like the health checks were being performed as root. So you just had to create uh, like a configuration file which is in log or JSON format, and then post it in a certain directory that was specified when you run pspy the moment you get in the box. And from there on, let's say there's no from there on, you just finish the box. Pretty simple, pretty sweet, pretty cute. And then I can say it was simple, but it took us almost. So the first thing, let me see if my VPN is okay. It's not. Okay, I'll just have to download another. Does your VPN reset when your subscription is has ended?
Yep, it does.
Oh, and where will I steal subscriptions? Download
Queen
VPN.
CTFs like me.
Not fun. Where? Anyway, if you win the next time, only pay you give me. So HTB, eh, the hell? Anyway, John, you have VIP, right?
Nah, mine expired.
Poor people. Where did they place it? Eh, oh, cool. Awesome. I think it's gonna work like a charm. Mm. Yeah, it worked. So, as always, when you get a box, when you get the IP, we always begin with an nmap scan. Uh, so it's nmap default script scan, version enumeration, verbose, store the output in the directory in a file called scan1. Yeah, and then we supply the IP. So we get the first thing, if you are used to doing these boxes, you'll just see some ports and know what they are. So I can see my SQL is there. I can see uh, we had port 3000. I can see port 80 and port SSH port 22. So let's check what's on port 80 even before the scans complete. Okay. Ambassador development server. Welcome to Ambassador. Hi there. This server exists to provide developers at Ambassador with a standalone development environment. Developer Ambassador, you will. Yeah. So I spent a lot of time on this page, like a lot of time on in here. Like I know this was a clue or something. So I was maybe like, account developer, DevOps will give you the passwords. So I maybe I thought there was a subdirectory of devs or maybe a Git exposed somewhere so that I could get the password from there. So I took a lot of time enumerating this. Yeah, I used almost all directory brute forcing tools because I didn't trust them. I could try pub and it failed, and I say like, in a car far as an issue, and then I go with another. Yeah. So let's wait. While we wait, let's just redo the things I did. So in another tab, let's leave Ferox Buster running. How many here use Ferox Buster? Yeah. How many use Ferox Buster? How many use FAF or WFAF? I think John calls it FUFF.
I call it FUF, bro. FUF.
Ruka tu Simba. So yeah, we get a couple of directories that are 301s, right? And we all know what 301s are, right? Yeah. Simply it's okay, we'll get nothing there, like nothing. So yeah, now let's go back to the what's it called? The nmap scan. Now from the nmap scan, we see port 22. We normally don't touch that unless it's our last option, or I normally don't touch it unless it's my last option. Is when I fire up Hydra and start shooting passwords and usernames at it. At port 80, Apache, nothing of interest. Port 3000, nothing of interest. But there's something of interest, not nothing of interest, because if you see here, I think there's some sort of redirect login. So this tells us there's a login endpoint on port 3000. Yeah, so this is pretty interesting. 3306, MySQL. You can try to log in without a password. Maybe you can try logging in as root without a password. If you see that port is exposed or open, you can try logging in with the root username and without the password, and see if you can, if maybe the developers didn't specify a password for the root. Yeah, which we don't, it's not there. It's not allowed. So let's go to port 3000. Port 3000. So we know that's here. Let's go to port 3000. Yep. Now we find a login. Anna login page. So this box, the moment you found out that there was a Grafana application on port 3000 and you knew the version, it became an easy box. Now, what made it medium, if you'd ask me, is let me just say the enumeration bit, and also the part where now you have to get root. So like here we already see the Grafana login, and we see there's a version at the bottom right. It's version 8.2.0. So when you get a service version, you'll either go and Google it or use search exploit to check any available vulnerabilities for that specific version. Yes. So when you do search exploit Grafana, and here we see at 8.30, there's directory transversal. What was the version again? It was 8.20, meaning this is even before 8.30. So this doesn't necessarily mean it's vulnerable. For most applications, you might find it is 8.4. 8.4 is vulnerable to this, but 8.3 is not. Yeah. So, but for this one, this is the case. Like, it is vulnerable to this directory transversal or arbitrary file read. So yeah, let's inspect what this is. What exactly that is. Should I just, let me just mirror it. No, I should mirror it. So it's like M. Nope. Now let's open it up and maybe get to know how this works exactly. What does it do? Okay. So this, let me just use Sublime. Where is it? Oh shit, my mouse. So yeah, so this is the exploit. You don't really need to know how it works, but let's just go through it a bit. You can just fire it up and you get everything. So let's read this. It's telling us that the author is somebody called Sai. The description is the version 8.00 beta through 8.30. So yeah, 8.2 is included. yeah, is vulnerable to directory transversal, allowing access to local files. Yeah. So this is CV 2021 43798, right? So from here we see a list of plugins, yeah, which tells us that these might affect plugins, or plugins might be used to leverage this particular vulnerability. So here is the main function. Here the headers are specified. When you make a request, or maybe when you've played around Python request module, or maybe even when you are using curl, you've actually interacted with headers, and I won't go into details of what headers are. And for those who don't actually know what headers are, I joined John's starting point lessons, which is always every Monday, I guess. He always explains these things better than I do. So, yep. So, yeah, we have a while true. So, file read. So, we have to input a file we want to read. So, we have to know the file you want to read. And then this is the URL, which it's gotten from the arguments. It says args. Let's see. Main, it runs main. Yeah, it gets them from the arguments, and we have a module arg parser, which is used to make passing arguments to your script easier. So here we see the request. We start a request. This is a request object. Yeah, the method is get. This is a very interesting way of doing it.
A very old way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could shorten this because this code looks ugly if you ask me. You could shorten this. So s.send, really? Okay. Plugin file not found, add text, in add text, print file not found. Okay, so here it checks if typed in here was actually a valid file gotten from the server. If it returns, if this string is uh, in the text returned by the request, right? Because you're doing a get request. Yeah. So if it's in the string returned by the get request, that means that file is not there. Yeah. So else, if the status code is 200, then print the text, meaning this part or this string might not be in add text, but that doesn't mean the file was found. So it goes ahead and checks the status code of the request. If the status code is 200, which is found, right? It prints out the add text content that was gotten from the server. Yeah. Else it prints out something went wrong, and then it returns. It returns nothing or null. So this is an exception, try exception. So that's just it's capturing errors that which one exactly? Connection timeout error. Like if it takes too long to get the file or maybe to connect to the server, it returns a connection timeout, right? Yeah. If you have learned about TTL, so there's a specific leave time given to even, is it request? Is it given to request too? So when that time expires or ends, then there's a connection timeout. I'm just talking of this in the aspects of DNS and ping, because I know DNS and ping have TTL. Awesome. Now we know what the script does, and what exactly, which endpoint does it use again? So, okay. So there's a slash publics, and then the choice of plugin in the plugin list, meaning all of these plugins are valid plugins. So let's go with graph. Let's craft this on our own. Let's start. So we have the first thing which we have to specify is the host or the URL, right? And then slash, we give it what is here. It's the plugins. This path, copy. Because I don't want to use, sorry. Did I just compile this? Sorry. Not compile, they just run this. That's embarrassing. So yeah, we take a plugin, which I said I'm gonna use Graph. And then now we specify or place these, like, what is it called again? I'll just say path. What was it again, John? I'll just call it path then. So let's place it there. And then now plus the file to read. So where is the file to read? So input file or file to read, right? So at the end of it, we're gonna place the file to read. So let's try, let's say password. Okay. So yeah, that's it. So we're gonna do it two ways. We're gonna use this script to read the password, the password file, and also we're gonna use cal to actually read it so that we know exactly what this script is doing. So let me just check this. And then now where the host is, I'm gonna paste it and replace it. So let me just cut it. Okay, awesome. So let's run this file, this exploit. So we love to give it, wait, where's the name? It's here. Let me close this. Close without saving, close without saving, close this. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. I closed it. Yeah, I'm going to use this set of, let me just send it to 6. Okay, awesome. So here's the file that we've gotten from SiteSprite. This M means mirror. So we can just check exactly what SiteSprite does. Help. So yeah, this is it. So let's say, where's the tag M? Oh, I hope I'm still live because my nini is bad. Am I still on, John? I
Yeah,
just
you
had
are. Yeah.
I just had as if somebody entered or I left.
Don't worry. Continue.
Yeah. So Mira is the same as copying the exploit from the directory where it is to the current working directory. So that's what we use. X is to examine. Let's say you want to check through it first before you actually pull it over. Yeah. The other options, you can go through them. So yeah, let's run this without supplying anything. Okay, it tells us the following arguments are required, right? So we need a host, the host. So I'll just paste that and remove this. So this is the host it requires. So this is our host. So when we run that, there we have it. We have this interactive prompt. Yeah. So here, if we give it a file to read, yep, it gets the file for us, right? Awesome, 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 awesome. So we could try because now we know the user. You know, there's a developer user, and you remember uh on the home page of on port 80, we were told that DevSecOps will give us like some credentials. So if you are doing this box without knowing anything, the first thing you'll think about is download IDRSA of developer, right? Because you are told developer, use the developer account to SSH. DevOps will give you the password, right? So the first thing I thought was maybe I could get developers SSH, uh, the SSH key. Sorry, no, that's .ssh id underscore RUC, which failed miserably. Yeah. So yeah, that was one way of doing it. So the other way is using just cal. Oh, no. So we could use curl to essentially do the same thing. Yeah. And I prefer this method because I could actually save files to my own machine. So I could do curl and then give it the path the way we had constructed in that file. So we have curl and then the host or the URL and then the path or the plugin. And then I will give it the path to the file that we want to read. So, oh, login found. Wait, what did I do wrong? What am I doing wrong here? Public plugins, craft, tag. There's something I'm doing wrong. Doing something wrong. So let me read this again. So that's host, and then public plugins choice in the plugin list, and then we pass in the plugin list, and then plus file to read, where file to read is just etc password. So should I just choose another plugin? Aha. Then let's do this. Let's do this. I hope this works. Okay, why is this? No, that's redirected. I followed redirect. No, that doesn't work. So what I'm gonna do, I don't want to waste time. So let me just print out this so that I get what it is exactly. So let's print out the URL. Let's cheat. So I run this and then I give it etc password. Awesome. So this is what I want. So what exactly was I doing wrong? I don't see. So copy. Okay.
Wrap the URL in quotes. I guess that helps because I don't think it's interpreting the path traversal shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Interesting. We have Lumumba in the house. Thank you.
That's
Okay.
weird.
Very weird. So this is where it calls for copying. So, oh yeah, yes. I forgot. See, when you put this in the browser, yeah, this is gonna be converted to one path, right? So we need to specify curls for curl to, like, go to that path as it is. Don't actually try to maybe uh, do any curl shenanigans on it, right, John? Shenanigans. So we had to specify our path as is, right? Yeah. And then now we get the IDRSA. Yeah. So now here's where now we tried getting the no, not IDRSA. This is the password. Sorry. We tried getting the IDRSA and it failed, right? So you'll start asking, what exactly can I get that? What exactly can I get from this server that can give me anything? So I suffered here. Let me not lie. I didn't know that in the description for this exploit itself, it had exactly the files you could actually get that could potentially contain credentials. for the for this specific application. So I came again and took the CV itself and then searched it online. Yeah. And when I searched this, I found out that there was uh, an INI or INI file that Grafana uses to store its credentials. So mm, where was it? Is it this one and this one? Let me see both. Let's check both. Oh no, nimetoka stream.
You're still there.
Still there. Uh, Thank you, John, for making sure I'm still here.
Well,
Okay, so no, it was in a GitHub. This wasn't it. It was a GitHub. It was a GitHub. So let me first check this. Okay. So yeah, it is. So where is it? Where is it? Release update from Grafana. No, I still don't get it. So let's just go to Grafana and see where does Grafana store uh where Grafana uh store credentials, right. And now here we see it's stored in the Grafana database, which can be SQLite 3 database, right? Default stored in value Grafana DB. Oh, interesting. So we could take this because now we know there's a Grafana database somewhere on that server or that remote machine. So you could just come again and replace the HC password with that. Oh, there's a quote that should be, yeah, there should be a quote here. Bad request. Mm,
you have a space between Grafana and
oh, and DB. So it says binary output can mess your terminal. So this is a binary. This is a database. So it can actually like Carl. I'd say Carl thinks my terminal is so weak that binary output will mess it. So it's trying to help me. So to tell, wait, use output to tell Carl to output it to your terminal anyway. But why would I do that? So let's just use output to save it over to our DB. We could also use wget. I think that would work. Yeah. So, oh, good. So yeah, that's the Grafana database, SQLite. So normally SQLite 3 is simple as uh, to like interact with it is as simple as just typing SQLite 3 and then the database file name, right? And then now when you get here, you can just check the tables. Now in the tables, where is it? We say user token. Now this is the part where we could be interested in. Maybe you can go ahead and look at login attempt and each of these and see what it does. So we can just say from select every single thing from user, right? Awesome. We get the admin and the admin. That's nothing. Okay, this is nothing. So let me see. Or am I the one not see? Let me see. Where did I get that? Did I just forget? No. Uh, where did I get the creds? Is this admin? Admin to use to log into. I don't remember, but let's see. Select star from select all, not star. Select all, not star. Data source. Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Yep. Now from the data source, we find the MySQL credentials. So oh yeah, we can actually uh super login to the MySQL credentials. Now before we log in, I had told you that Grafana has something like a config file that it uses to store creds, right? So it's called grafana.ini. I don't know why I didn't get it, but that's how it's called. So we
Winton,
could, yes.
could you could you do something real quick? Instead of having a semicolon, end it with a slash capital G.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Let me see
Slash.
what that does. No, like it's a backslash, and it's
Okay,
close to data source. Like there's no space, like that.
okay.
Yeah, does nothing.
Mm,
Oh, okay,
I think it does that, or let me try with a space. I think it does this in MySQL.
okay.
Let's go try it in MySQL. So here we do, we get the password, right? For the MySQL password. And then the user is Grafana. Now, this is as simple as that. Like we can go over to MySQL login and get the grades I talked about. But now I talked about an INI uh, creds or maybe default creds to Grafana or maybe set creds. So we could get it over INI. I think it's in the same directory. INI on the file. That's JSON data. That means there's nothing there. Graph try 9. Yeah, nothing. Plugin file not found. Where is it exactly? Is it in etc? I think it's in etc. Let's see. Grafana dot ini. Yeah. So as you wait for my very fast internet to get it. So we can log into it's MySQL tag H, right? MySQL H for the host, and I didn't save it to my host file, so I have to remember the IP. Okay. Tag the user is Grafana, and then password, right? So what was the password again? So don't stand so close to me. Really? That sounds like a pretty girl speaking to John. Or to
While you're saying
Ele-
pretty girl, you copied the thing, the password wrongly. So keep that in mind.
okay. So yeah, now we log in to the MySQL server or database. And so now let's show database. These are databases. Yep. And now what we are interested in is the Wacky widget. Wacky widget, yes. Use Wacky widget. Uh, show tables. Users select everything again, everything from users. Yeah. Oh no. Oh god. Oh no. No. Please unsee that from users. Yeah. And we get a base 64 string, a base string. Is a base 64 string, sorry. So echo, and then we decode it. Decode, we get an Englishman in New York. That's referring to me. So echo control shift V to creds, right? I want to forget that. So now that's the developer creds. And remember, we were told it's an SSH credentials, right? So we essentially have a way in. So while that's doing that, let me go again and check the grafana.ini. Where is it? Where is it? Who knows where it is? Location. User local. Let's just take this as it is. Okay, I see people texting. Nobody's communicating. John, if anybody's asking a question or maybe complimenting me, kindly let me know.
I can't really do that because I'm recording, and so
Oh,
yeah. So like you'll just answer like after the session.
okay. Okay, sure. Thank you. Thank you for recording. So yeah, in the small errors. Now I think that is so I'll just remove this and see if it's in HCF directly. Yep, that's it. That's it. So it was just in the HC directory. It wasn't in those weird directions. So let's check it out. Yeah, so this is it. This is the file you would find, and in this file you'd find the login credentials for that web page we had gotten before. So if you find password, where is it? Grafana. So uh, sorry, I don't. Let me just use Vim for searching. I don't want to scroll. So yeah, so let's search for password. So yeah. So here we find the default admin passwords, and it can be changed before first start of Grafana or in profile settings. So we can check this. It's called default admin password, right? So this is a message in the bottom. So we can try, let's say, Grafana, and then login. Invalid, so it's admin login logged in. So yeah, so you could get the credentials to log into this web or service, this Grafana service that's running on for 3000, and maybe you can play around or maybe try to get the SQL MySQL credentials or interact with the MySQL database from here. Not SQL credentials really, but the SSH credentials, because now you'll be interacting with the, I think it's the MySQL database from this end. But I was unable to do that. If you are able to do that, you'll teach me, because I really wanted to do it. I wasted a lot of time there in that. So yeah, now that we have the credentials, which I had stored in creds, and we know we're supposed to search as the developer, right? Now we can go ahead and SSH. You need to, no, there's no need. Can go ahead and SSH as the developer. So yeah, that's it. Awesome. We have hacked into the server, the ambassador server. So in here you get what do you get? You get the first flag or the user.txt flag. Yeah. Super cool, right? It was awesome, very awesome. So let's now go and start the enumeration. So SCP. First, I always copy over. What's it called? I'll copy over. Where you? SCP. I'll copy over linpiece. Oh, I can get linpiece. Not linpiece exactly, but what's it called? PSPy. And then developer. Developer at am I in New York? Not really. Is it uh, so to TMP? I think I'll need the man in New York for the password. I forgot it again. Got creds. So the man in New York. No such file or directory, really. I think it's because it's PS564. Or is it? Let me see. Yep, it's 64. And also, must I specify? I don't think so. Yep, I don't have to specify. So I can go ahead and go to the temp directory or temp folder. ls. What is that? Oh, yeah. So my instance is still here. That's weird. So if I run PSPy, still busy. So I think it's over now. Oh, really? I'm using fiber, Safaricom fiber internet. So that's why my internet is super fast. It's very fast. Really? Okay, that's taking a lot of time. PS tag EF. Let me just use PS but PS looks ugly. So yeah, awesome. PSPy running. So what we are doing is checking out all the running processes on this machine. Yeah, all the processes running on this machine. And now we want to see if there's anything of use to us here, anything we can make advantage of, take advantage of in this in the processes running. So the first thing you do, we see uh okay, I think my session is still from before, it's still up because this was a payload I had placed in my okay. This is super weird, but it won't actually work. So here it is. This is what is interesting here. This is it. I think this is it. This is it. This console agent config. Yeah, this is it. So you see, there's console running and it's running an agent, and the config directory is in the etc console config d directory, right? So this tells me after if I had read that console health check earlier, it tells me it takes the configuration files from this directory and then performs health check from the configuration files will get there. Yeah. So this bin is just avoid this, just turn a blind eye to this. Don't, it's not supposed to be there. So yeah, the other thing I forgot to do was, when you get in the box, you'll always do ls than al, right? To see everything that's listed in that directory. And if you see something, there's a .git config, yeah, which is rare. It's rare for it to be there. It is very rare for it to be there. So if it's there, we know that we can either get credentials from there to do something, or maybe get something that was being done, something inside that git config folder or git config file. So here we see there's a directory called opt my app. This will assume it's where now there's a project, a git project that was pushed uh, in there. So we'll go there to just confirm. Oh, okay, awesome. So here we have the git folder. This tells us this is a git project. Yeah. And then we have another git, we have a git ignore. Not another, but a git ignore. So let's check what it's ignoring first. So nothing much of interest, nothing much of interest. So from here is where you'll now start doing your git enumeration, like your enumeration on this git project. You'll check the branches, you'll check the commits, you'll check the differences between commits and it's etc etc. Yeah, you'll just do everything you can to maybe gather more information about what exactly is this project. uh what was the first rollout, what is the second rollout, what is the third rollout, what is the final rollout, how do they differ? By rollout I mean what was the first main push or merge of the projects. So first I'll do git status. So there's nothing to commit. Yeah. And then git show. uh okay. Okay, I think this box wasn't reset. I don't know because it's in this commit. It's supposed to be git switch. Is it main or tag b main? Enabled what?
I think switching to a different branch is. Are you trying to switch to a different whatever branch?
Yeah,
It's checkout. So git
check
checkout.
out.
Yeah.
Git check out and then main.
So you don't have. Yeah.
Okay.
That's weird.
Yeah, I did check out because you see, I had already checked out and I'm already in the branch that is with differences. So let me show you what it did. So when you do git show, when you're in the main branch, yeah, you'll find a couple of git commits listed there. So now what you can do is either a git diff on each and every commit to get the difference between those commits and the main commits you're currently in, and that's where you'll get this, the token, right? At first, I didn't know what this was. Yeah, until now I went and started reading on Git console. So apparently, to actually execute or push as the console, or to restart the console, you need the token. Yeah. So I'm sorry, this has actually ruined the box for us, right? We could have reset. Should we reset it? We can just reset it.
Yeah, sure, but it's gonna take a bit.
Yeah. Anyway, so where's console? Where's console? So I had Googled console health check. Okay, awesome. So now that we could go and check what console is, yeah, and you see I Googled a lot. Anyway, so yeah, Googling, I find this script, and from this script is where now I got the idea exactly this was doing, what exactly console was doing, and how I could actually leverage console to do my bidding. See, so it is now. Let's read it again. Yeah, the habit of reading. Let me just copy all this. This looks ugly. White is bad. Black is good. Uh, okay, that's taking long. Quite some time. I don't want. Well, hey, what's up? Okay, so let's go through the code. We found a code online that claims to be an exploit for console. So let's save that. I'll just say exp.py. Okay, awesome. So Control K B. So requests again. Okay, so this is parser. This is to get the arguments, and then now we import a process. Okay, now this is where the exploit is being what the exploit is actually being created, right? So awesome. So what does this do? Uh-huh. Okay, so yeah, this makes what? It registers an health check using the URL, or maybe using what's it called? Using requests, or using, let's say, HTTP, because the way I did it wasn't using any of these. I just sent over the file, or the config file, directly to the directory where the configs were. Yeah, and then from there is I just reloaded the service, and then the service, it worked like that, right? So let's just check how this is doing, right? So first, let's check what is happening here. So we have IDRC name remote code execution shell. Okay, I tried this and it failed me. The reason why it was telling me ID no or something. So what I did next was I went to the default, or to the okay. I went to the Grafana's documentation on health checks, not Grafana, but Console. So I went to configure console health checks in console. Uh, which one did I like the most? This one, I guess. Yeah, so I went to the console documentation and look for how to configure health checks, right? And now from there is when now I realized how exactly should I will configure a health check, and now I will use that to get me root. Because if you had checked the PSPy output, yeah, really PSPy 64. Uh, I didn't want to go here. If you check the PSPy output, you'll find out that uh, the console is running the config directory as root. You'll check the UID is right. So meaning anything in the config directory check configured, yeah, in this config directory will be run as. So if I had a health check that did a ping request to a service to check if it's up, now that's a form of health check. It's checking if that service is up and running. Um, it will now tell us, it will do it. So now imagine instead of doing that ping request, I do a different command, maybe doing a reverse shell back to another an attacking or a listening machine, or maybe just setting you doing a set UID on setting the set UID bit on any binaries, which now give you the ability to maybe execute commands or run them as root. So yeah, Control C. Okay, dope. So let's clear that. And then internet yangu let me just look for configure console. Yeah, let's switch the tabs. So health checks. So here's where we say one primary role of the agent is management of level health checks. A health check is considered to be application level if it's associated with a service. Okay. So yeah, we understood that. So we have the HTTP plus interval, and we have time to live, blah, 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 Docker plus interval, gRPC interval. Now let's see. Register health check. Start or reload a console agent with a service definition in the agent's configuration directory. Call agent service register. That's the API. So there are three methods. Yeah, there are three ways. So this one is what we're gonna use. Reloading the console agent, because I don't think we are able to do this. If anybody did that, teach me, sir. So here it is. We have a script check. So script checks periodically invoke an external application that performs the health check. Now, here you already just think, I could invoke any application to perform a health check. And this doesn't know which and which application are actually used to perform health checks. So I could actually invoke any application. Yeah. And now here is the example. Uh, this is an example of a script check. So the following service definition file snippet is an example of a script check definition, right? So check the script convection. We have a ID, anything you want it, the name, anything you want to name it. And now here is where you specify what you want to run and the intervals you want it to run at, right? And plus the timeout. Maybe If it's ping or maybe something that is trying to connect to a service, there's a there's a time when maybe that service is not up and you'll want it to have some sort of timeout. Like just try for try to do this for 3 seconds. If it doesn't work, right? So there's an HTTP check. We're not interested in that. TCP check. I'm not interested in that. Those who do reverse shells will be interested in that. Me, I'm not. I could be interested in this, yeah, but not today. So, so how do we do it? Mhm. So, initial health check status, multiple health check. Where is this? How do we do it? There was that option 3. Let's look for it and go to it. So, here it is. So, in the agent file configuration, so agents. So, console agent config file server.json. Uh, wait. Where is it? So I can't get it, but let me check. Reload. So let's go to reload console and see. So yeah, so the thing is, you'll just create a file. It's a log file. Is it log? Yeah. And then you put it in the directory specified in that PSPy output. And then after that, you reload the console agent. Yeah. And after the console agent loads or reload, uh, it is when now, like it will restart and now work on whatever you gave it. So let me just do this. Console reload config. So okay, I don't get it. Where is it? Uh,
Okay, so the internet has finally failed him. Eish, this is really bad. Okay, PLC. Well, maybe, but from what I know, his net has been behaving like that. We were on call from like 5 p.m., so it kept behaving like that. Yeah.
Eh? So I was lost. I had disappeared. So I don't know where I got lost at. Can somebody tell me where I was? Because me, I was just speaking and speaking and speaking. Alishapata the token. Yeah. Can somebody tell me where I left you guys at?
I guess you are going through the console page, looking for the config to, yeah, that's where you are.
Or I came over to look for the config to craft the payload, am I?
Yes, yes.
Oh, awesome, awesome. So yeah, so we just come to the console documentation. We take the config for the health check, right? We just take any and then come over to maybe Sublime and now uh start creating the like the payload itself. So here we'll say something like anything. Let's say lol hacked, and then now the way it is, you see, we can just come here and I will just do chmod u plus s in bash, right? And then I just need it to be in the intervals of 2 seconds, and then timeout equal 3 seconds, right? So now I've created the payload. Now what my payload does is just sets uh, a security bit to the bash binary so that I can get an easy route without getting a reverse shell, which according to me is inefficient. He's very here. He says, yeah. So we are putting it in this directory. So I'm gonna create a file. I think it's in the format of .log. Is it .conf or .log? Let me just confirm. So sort of reload console service check, and it's .log, right? .json, not .log. Wait.
It's .json.
JSON, right?
Yeah,
Not dot.
of course
So
it's
let's
JSON. Like the format is even JSON.
sawa. So, so let's create something like what's the coolest name? Let's give it a cool name. What's the coolest name? John, what's the coolest name? Winter, right?
XCT.json. Acha
Winter
JSON.
JSON.
Ah, damn.
uh winter the next XCT JSON. Now that's
Nice.
better.
Yeah, living the dream. Nice.
Okay, so yeah, now here is where now I come and paste my payload. I hope it works. Don't embarrass me, payload. So we run that, and now we reload the console the way we did. So what we do is type console, reload, and then we give you the token we got from the Git diff of various commits, right? So when we reload that, what did it say? Fail to pass console, invalid character C, looking for beginning value. You just embarrassed me. So where is the invalid character? Um, is it really not JSON? Because this is not JSON, John.
It's JSON. I
Is-
have no idea why it's complaining.
Uh,
Probably just something that you're missing. I don't know. But it is .json because we did this box with you and we did
yeah.
config.json. Yeah.
So definitely someone is making this thing not work. Oh, I see the reason why. You see, it's supposed to be in JSON format. I didn't put it in JSON format. So I'm gonna use this Control C and then no, cancel Control C and then let's come here. Insert. I was supposed to signs into uh a full column, right? So this should work. It's essentially the same thing. It's just that on the other end, I forgot to convert uh, this the configuration into a JSON format, right? So here it is converted to a JSON format minus the timeout, but everything is the same. So the thing here that changed is let me go back to this is very important. It has to be lol. I'm joking. It's not important. Awesome. So now let's reload again and see. Yeah. Now let's check L rail bash, bon bash. Nope. So according to Nani, let me take screenshot for. Oh, Johnny is recording. Okay. So from here, I can just do bash tag p or bash tag I, any. Uh,
What
and
do you
I'm
mean
good.
any? What do you mean any?
What do I mean any?
What do you mean by any? Ebu do the Bashtaka and get roots. Are you mad?
Oh shit. No, that's interactive. But yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a miscommunication on my part. Uh, ni venye Jona ananichanganya, sasa umejua.
Hey, mimi nakuchanganya kwani mimi ni dem.
So yeah, so you have root. You can come here and check uh what this was doing. Mhm. I don't know if you could use this. No. Could you? Can you? Anyway, yeah, that's it for this box. Thank you for being an awesome audience and thank you. At least leo sikuwa na shida ya internet mingi, right? Okay. Any questions? Any person who wants to say anything? Yes. Hello. Ama nitume ma flags. Hello. It's weird that you guys don't talk on stream. Black Ninja, we have Prorat, we have Pamuriat, and we have Waze, Asula, High 48. Anyway, thank you guys. Vitwem, Victor, and the rest. Thank you. And I'm done. Thank you. Yes, my machine is screaming. Eh, I can't access the chat. Yeah, I have a very low spec machine, yeah. Thank you. Anyway, thank you guys. See you next time when we are playing, when we're doing, is it shared or rainy day? Any of those. John,
Yeah, what's up?
sasa turudi safari.
I'm waiting for guys to finish typing, and
Oh,
then I stop the recording. Yeah.
there are questions.
No, no questions, just comments. And when
Oh, let
guys are
me
done commenting or giving insults, that's when you end the session.
insults.
Yeah.
No, just that's really. I only say Winter the Great. I'm a fan of Winter. Winter, your autograph. Winter. Usome hizo vitu.
I I'm reading your machine is screaming only. Anyway, you can wrap up, I guess. There
See,
seems to be
me,
please.
I am done. I
Yeah.
was waiting for any sort of questions about the box or about anything so that we left. I
Uh,
left.
I don't think there are any.
No, no. Oh, anyway, it was
Oh
these
wait,
people.
wait. There's someone typing. One sec.
Okay. Okay. John, that's directed to you, not me.
Oh, I'll upload the recording. Wait, will I? No, I'll give Phrase the link to upload because Phrase has trust issues. So like I'm an admin, but I can't even share the link in the recording channel. The channel is called Session Recordings. You can find like previous recordings there. Yeah, but I don't have permission to. So normally I just share the link with him and then he posts. So yeah.
Okay.
Winter, you're laughing and you are removed as an admin. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah, I guess that wraps up the session.
Yeah.
Uh, so wait, somebody's typing.
I'll make it. And there were no ladies in my stream. Why?
My girl was around, but she left. I
Can't-
think you bored her.
I can't- Okay. I can't unmute. Another nasema Asian. Wait, what, John? Nasema?
Nothing.
Wait, anasema he can't unmute. Hebu give him nini
Really?
permission to talk. Yeah.
Huh.
Apparently his stream was screaming, so you muted him.
No, I did not. He's not server muted, so I don't know. I don't know why he can't unmute.
Mashine yake hiyo ni kijiji. Wais ni mashine yako.
Wait, I told you to stop using Mkebes. Why do you listen? Anyway, I have no idea why you can't unmute though.
Just type, just type, just type. Tell me. But I know what you want to say, so don't flatter me too much. Eh, eh. Okay. Black Ninja. When I see you on streams, a pro, and I see 48. And then I see kiddies like Joe.
I'm a kid.
Hey,
Oh, okay.
you're a kid, bro. 18, 18 years old.
Yeah,
Toto.
Awais isn't typing. This guy is wasting our time. Let's jump back to madness.
Yep, let's go to madness.
So yeah, I guess Winter will see y'all next time when he's doing an insane Linux box.
Yes, send ways, insane Windows. Bye bye.
Cheers.